Shalom, Israel. I hope y'all had a happy Sabbath yesterday. At the end of this, don't forget to subscribe. Push the like button if you like the video. I've been noticing about this pandemic that we have, this Covid-19. I've been doing some studying on it, researching it, finding some in the scriptures that reflect how this is actually coming after us. I got the Apocrypha I'm going to read out of, and I got an old remedy that would help throughout this COVID-19 pandemic to keep you from going into hospitals. It's my old grandmother's recipe and knowledge that she gave me. So, no, I'm not a doctor, but they can't stop me from telling you what my grandmother once told me. I want to go into the scriptures. I want to go into Deuteronomy for those that's tuning in that is not of Israel and don't understand who we are as a people. This is Deuteronomy 14. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the earth. This is the Most High separating Israel from all the other nations. I say all the time that we're a different race of people. And here, if you go into Deuteronomy 28, it gives what happened to us if we do good or if we do bad, which our forefathers ended up sinning. So you have to go down a whole list and see all the curses that came on us. This curse been on us, plus the hatred of Esau, has been going around for years. There's so much history out there that was done to us all the way up until this time. Even the diseases that was made up in counting the slavery time and Jim Crow era, on and on. So now here we are living out the book of Revelation, right about Revelation 18 where we should be, and it's not that many chapters left in Revelation. So we're at the end times, and here they are. They come up with another pandemic, another last government, which showing you that we really are close to the end time. This coronavirus really is no more than a flu. You notice you don't hear anything about the flu. You don't even hear anything about the lottery. Who won the lottery? You don't even see it on the news. I don't think it's Mondays and Wednesdays when they show the lottery. You don't hear that at all. All you hear is COVID, 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 over and over. Nobody has anything wrong with their lungs, emphysema. You know, anything that has to do with flu, you don't hear it unless they change the name to COVID-19. That's the flu new name. So I'm going to go into the Apocrypha, okay? It's the Apocrypha. Those of you that think the Apocrypha is not the Bible, this is the 1611 edition. And in here, you can see here the New Old Testament, Apocrypha, New Testament. That's the original Bible. That's the way it was originally set up until the Catholic Church and the Jesuits came and changed it, because it points to a specific race, who they are and who we are and so on. So you would never find out who you are and quit calling yourself African American, because we're not African American. That's you basically saying that you're a slave. And in this Apocrypha, I'm going to 2nd Esdras 15. To read to you what's about to take place, especially here in America, but it's a worldwide event. 2nd Esdras 15, starting with 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. Now remember, I told you who my people are in Deuteronomy chapter 14. That's the Israelites. Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble you that speak against thee. That's basically the nation speaking against Israel, because they came up against us, the nations of the world. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. That was I want to prove what I just said to show you how the nations came against us. That was Psalms, I think it's Psalms 82, Proverbs. No, Psalms 82. There we go. I'm going to show you how the nations came against us. Psalms 83. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thou thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up thee. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Hidden ones, that's basically us that have no idea who we are, calling ourselves of a different name, namely of the land. We're not calling ourselves another nation. We calling ourselves after land, like French, Italian, Jamaican. That's a land. We are the only ones that call ourselves slaves of two slave masters. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. These are all nations. That the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes. These are all nations, and Ishmael is Middle Eastern people, Saudi Arabia, and all in that area. Edom is the Caucasian race. Edomites, Jacob's brother. They all came together. They all came together to come against us. Now they still doing it unto this day, and this is what this COVID-19 is all about. So I'm gonna continue where I left off. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Now, plagues is just like this disease, this COVID-19. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. That's all of this child porn and gay rights. Gays just as equal as anybody else. Pedophilia, the Catholic Church being brought to shame. Now you finna have some politicians and some athletes being brought to shame. All of this is coming clean now. And the Most High has gotten sick of it, so he's bringing all of it out and bringing these plagues against it. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore said the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock into the slaughter, as a flock to slaughter. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Well, that Egypt, there's an old Egypt and there's a new Egypt. There's us coming out of the first Egypt, and this Babylonian land here is considered the second Egypt, because we're still slaves in this nation. Not like physically before, but now we're mentally slaves. Anytime you call yourself African American, you still calling yourself a slave. So you had to have been conned into thinking you're African American. You still a slave. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. Let me prove to you that Egypt is America today. I'm going to go to Exodus 20 and show you that this is talking about America. Exodus 20:1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You see, this is slavery. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So Egypt means bondage, slavery. That's how it pertains to us today. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And I'll show you this. I'll show you this, so you won't think I'm lying. This is what you call yourself when you say African American. See? Those are your two slave owners that they got us calling ourselves after. Leo Scipio Africanus Americana Vespucci. And Psalm 49:11, their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name. They call their lands where they live at after their own names. You see? One was a Roman general, one was an Italian explorer. African American. You're a slave of these two Edomites. So, then the Most High only dealt with Israel. He never dealt with any other race. Let's go to Amos 3:1 to prove that. So I can show you that this COVID-19 is really an attack on Israel, because they held this mess for 50 years. The whole outwork of it, what they were going to do, how it was going to take place. They held it just long enough for Israel to wake up. The scripture said we would wake up in the latter days. And they waited, and sat on it. And when they saw us going around worldwide, waking up all over the world, then they come out with the program of COVID-19. It's actually a program. Nobody's really dying from no COVID-19. Whatever you die of in them death camps called hospitals, they tag it COVID-19 to run the numbers up so they can put fear in the people and control them. Look at basketball and baseball now that they bringing it back. It don't even look right. Basketball game, they got a screen on the side where it look like people are there, but they really not. The only reason why them guys running up and down on that court because of their salary, so they can get paid. Otherwise, they wouldn't even do that kind of. It don't even feel right, I'm sure, to them. It don't even look right to us. But we'll watch it because we sick of sitting in the house. I'm gonna get to that in a minute on my grandmother's recipe. See this? Okay, that's Psalm 33. I got that. I want to go to Amos 3:1. Amos. Amos 3:1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known for all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. See, our forefathers sinned back in the day. They kept wandering off doing what the world was doing, and not what the Most High told us to do when we were in the wilderness. Once we took the land of Canaan and developed it, became the land of Israel. Under Solomon, we started sinning against the words of the Most High that was given to Moses. So Solomon started doing sacrificing babies, and then other people, because he was the king of Israel, other people in the land started doing the same thing. So we started doing what the heathens were doing. And once we started sacrificing babies, the Most High God had enough